And I'm just checking my levels. Checkity check, check. What about if I get excited, though? Hello, and welcome to Your Free Voice with me, your host, Julia Norton. This podcast is for people who use their voice professionally or for fun, and they want to understand how it works a bit better, or to get over old stories that might be holding them back. Whatever level you're playing at right now, my goal is to bring you lots of actionable stuff, from the technical to the creative to the deeply woo, to help you free your voice. Episode 57. Happy New Year. Okay, so I'm a little bit late getting this out. It's actually the 30th of January when I'm recording this. And part of that is, I spent 3 weeks in the UK with my mum, and that was fabulous, but it kind of took me out of my zone just a little bit. And that was okay, because it was lovely to be there, and I feel very grateful for having the chance to do that. But at the same time, I've been pondering what it is to be in this world right now, which is a lot. And rather than going on about all that, I actually thought I might share with you some of the things I've been thinking about for how to feel better. How to feel better is the subject of today's episode. And this is not because I know how to feel better, because sometimes I don't. So in many ways, this is as much a reminder for me as it is for you. But I'm going to start off with generally what you get when you Google how to feel better and ask me how I know, because I just did it. So there's stuff that I bang on about all the time, right, when I'm working with classes or individual clients. And that is move your body, right? Stretch, exercise, and preferably do some kind of exercise that you love, right? But even if we're just talking about in this immediate moment, here you are, it's a Friday afternoon at the end of January, whenever it is you're listening to this, and maybe you're not feeling sparkling. Can you find a song that you like to dance to, or that lifts you up, right? So if you're a dancey kind of person like I am, I would not call myself a dancer, but yes, I am a dancer because I love to dance. Then find a tune that you can just crank on and have a good dance and shake your rump to, okay? If you're not so much dance inclined, put on a tune that really lifts you up and deep clean a teapot or the bathroom sink or something like that, because all of that is still activity. It's going to make you feel better. Still in the short-term kind of approaches of how to feel better, get outside. Even if it's raining, even if it's snowy. Obviously not if you're going to put yourself at risk, but if you can get outside and just get some weather and some fresh air and a bit of perspective and a moment away from screens and inside air, you're likely going to feel better. I usually do. And then the next one is practice mindfulness. Now, I have a fairly regular meditation practice. I don't meditate every single day, but probably 5 days a week, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes every morning. And that has been going on for a long time. And I think that mindfulness has enabled me to transform as a human being, just because it has connected me to a deeper sense of self and to everything in the world more than just my drama that's spinning around in my own life. So, that's a whole nother topic. And in fact, if you go back and have a listen to my episode with Ruth Phillips, can't remember which one it is right now, but we talk a lot about mindfulness in there. listen to uplifting music. So I recently ditched Spotify for reasons, and I'm now on Tidal, which I don't know that they're that much better, but anyway, I'm on Tidal, and I have a playlist on there that's called Cheer the F Up, okay? And there I put my bangers, as I like to call them. I heard that term fairly recently, actually, and I'm like, oh yeah, totally bangers, okay. So there I put my songs that are going to lift me up every time, and it starts with Mr. Blue Sky by ELO. And not only is that a great, cracking tune, but I remember my dad bringing home the blue vinyl edition of that album when it came home, and it was very fancy. So get yourself a Cheer the F Up playlist, or however you're going to phrase that, and put the songs on there that just will undoubtedly lift you up. That's a great place to start. Connecting with your senses, right? So this might be brewing a pot of delicious smelling tea, some hand lotion, feeling the coat on your dog or your cat, connecting with a fuzzy blanket, having a soaky bath, all those things, just to remember that you are smelling and touching and you have comfort in these things. Obviously, breathing. Do a breathing reset, one of the ones I've talked about in different episodes. And they don't mention this in the Googles, but this is a short-term thing to help you feel better. So the breathing in for 4, hold for 5, and out for 7 is a great one. Let's just do that right now, shall we? Okay. And always start one of these by breathing out first. So exhale. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just breathe in. Let your belly relax and just suck the air in like a vacuum. That's a great way to do it. So you can do that. And obviously, as people that are voicey types, we know if we can sing a song, it's going to help us feel better. Even if it's a really dramatic, torchy song that just makes you want to cry, you probably will feel better afterwards because, endorphins and stuff. So move your body, get outside, practice mindfulness, listening to uplifting music, get that playlist going. Oh, practice gratitude. Just think in that moment, what are 3 things you're really grateful for? Yesterday, I went to Costco and I found Heinz baked beans on the shelf, like a 6-pack for $8. I was beyond thrilled. So, for my Brits, they'll know that that's a very big deal. So I'm super grateful for the baked beans in my life. I'm super grateful for having a cozy home and a roof over my head. And I'm super grateful for the dear people in my life who will lift me up when I feel blue or like I'm coming apart at the seams. Okay, so then let's look at the slightly longer term things. So there's the immediate short-term thing of just move your body, have a dance, have a sing, all those kinds of things. But apparently about 30 minutes of exercise every day is going to make you feel better. It definitely makes me feel better. When I was suffering from sleep deprivation and a bit of depression after the birth of my son, I went to see a therapist and they said, okay, I want to put you on antidepressants, or you can exercise vigorously for at least 30 minutes a day. So I chose that, and it actually worked for me. I'm not saying don't take antidepressants because I know they're essential for many. And in a different situation, I might have had to do that as well. But 30 minutes of physical activity, something that you love. I'm going to say this year, follow the joy, right? Because as I've mentioned before, joy is an act of defiance. Okay? So follow the joy. Bring as much light and joy as you can into the world as you possibly can. And so maybe your physical activity is running with a friend, or Zumba class, or aqua aerobics in a flowery hat. You can guess which one's going to be mine. And then, obviously, when we talk about, I've talked to you about this before in terms of vocal health, but cutting out the foods and things that aren't making you feel good. So I actually had to cut out coffee last year, like completely. I can't even drink it black because it makes me clear my throat so much. And I didn't realize until I was recording the audiobook last year that it was really causing a problem. And so I've cut it out completely. I'm still pretty addicted to tea, but I'm working on it. So what else is not making you feel great? Maybe it's stuff that causes inflammation. Maybe it's booze. Maybe it's sugar. Like maybe it's, I don't know, ice cream. Right? What is not working for you? And maybe cut that out for the most part, right? You can always have little moments where you have these things. I don't want to be all or never about it, but how can you look at your diet and say, do you know what? For my mental health and my whole physical health and everything moving forward, I'm just going to take such and such out for a bit and see how it goes. Prioritize your sleep, prioritize your sleep, prioritize your sleep. Yeah, so important. Try to go to bed at the same time every night. All that stuff that everybody tells you. Don't have buzzy, beepy things in the bedroom. Yeah, just you deserve it. You deserve to get a good night's sleep and do whatever you can to embrace that. I know for some of us who are in the kind of midlife zone, there's the, oh my goodness, I'm turning into somebody who likes to be getting ready for bed at 10 o'clock. That's okay. It's not always going to be like that. There are going to be nights when you have gigs and events and all those kinds of things in the evening, performances. So, do your best. Okay. This one's a twofer. Make sure that you are connecting with people that you love and that you feel good around, right? You shouldn't be spending, I don't want to should all over you, but I have really limited any interaction with people that when I leave them, I feel less good about myself. There's something about how they manage to kind of slip in weird little judgy comments or little insinuations. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I don't have time for the high school bullying stuff anymore. There are enough lovely people in my life that appreciate me for who I am, and they don't mind how weird I am. And in fact, they seem to quite like it. So I'm just going to hang out with those people because I feel better when I'm around those people than the judgy weirdos. So, that's my little bit of revealing. So connect with the people that you love and love you back. There we go. And it might be, if you feel like you don't have enough of those people, get out and do events, singing events, moving. It's been actually, there have been studies that show that singing in a group with people for just an hour really develops strong bonds because it's such an emotion-rich experience, and it has all kinds of benefits from the chemicals in your body from being and singing with other people. So if you're feeling like you don't have enough of the good stuff, go get yourself into a community choir. There are so many pop-up choirs happening all over the place at the moment. So do that. Or moving, like a 5 Rhythms dance or a meditation group, something like that, something where you have a common bond. Set boundaries about what you can take on. Don't overcommit yourself to things, and delegate where you can. And this one is one I'm really trying to work on, is giving yourself time to create, to read, to let your mind wander. I think I can spend a lot of time trying to hold all the things together with all the things that I want to do. And I don't quite give myself enough time to just sit and sing or play the piano or write music. So I'm really trying to allow that to take up a bit more of my time this year. So, and the other things that, I started adding my own things into here as well, but something else that's going to make you feel better is looking at the thing that's stressing you out and seeing what's in your control and what's out of your control. And the stuff that's in your control, actually do something about it. So that comes back to that delegating, boundary setting, but it could also be, call your representative, boycott companies that you feel are misaligned with, unsubscribe from stuff that you're paying for that you no longer believe in. That actually can make you feel a lot better if you take those small actions, but they're also huge. Yeah, like I said before, in terms of long-term community building, join a choir or a group of people who are doing community work or volunteering, or join a local theatre group and start working on productions, start auditioning for things. All of these things are going to make you feel better. Even me getting in my booth today and recording this podcast for you has made me feel better because I realize that I am connecting with you. And that is a valid connection for me. I can feel you listening, so I so appreciate you listening. And, do share the podcast with your friends. And maybe rate it or write a review wherever it is you're listening. Because it's important for us to feel like we can be who we are, raise our voices in the world to make a difference where we can. And like I said before, be joyful as much as we can. Not in a Pollyanna way at all, but bring that joy. Have that write to your representatives and organize a dance party in the same day. You can do all the things. We cannot let ourselves be kind of crushed by fear and the unknown. I think for me personally, anyway, I'm doing what I can to support my body and my mental health and connect with my community and keep sharing and showing up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'd love to know what you're doing. Please do let me know. I love to get DMs. I'm on @Julia Norton Coaching on Instagram. I'm at Julia Norton on LinkedIn. So find me, message me, send me an email. yourfreevoice.com's my website. And let me know if you have any questions or things you'd like me to address on a voicey realm coming up. And I'll try and get these episodes out a little bit more frequently from this point on. Okay, have a super day. Remember, make that playlist. Lift yourself up. Okay, bye.